You say you've gotten your life back. How are you feeling?
I'm not back to where I was before. I'm better
Oh, yeah.
than I was before.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna Manuel, the co host of Transform Table Talk. And today we are getting a chance to talk with Jodi and her loving husband, Jim. They have both been through the ringer over the last 20 years with Jodi's health as she was dealing with mounting issues, chronic pain, extreme fatigue, IBS symptoms with extreme constipation. And she just wasn't able to function in her life anymore. It was getting to the point where they knew if they did one thing, they were going to have to then rest for 3 to 5 days just from, let's say, a 3 hour trip. They weren't able to enjoy life. They weren't getting help from the medical world. In fact, they were just getting dozens of prescriptions thrown at her, and they weren't helping. In fact, they were making things worse. I cannot wait for you to see how Jodi is doing now after graduating the program. Jodi and Jim, why don't you introduce yourselves?
I'm Jodi Pritikin, and I'm Jim's wife.
I'm Jim Pritikin. I've been working with UPS for almost 34 years, and I played 3 seasons in the minor leagues with the Seattle Mariners.
Wow.
And we love all things tiki.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're tiki files. We like to drive cross country and take trips to go to different tiki venues and conferences and stuff. And we go to antique stores. We go antiquing. So that's our thing.
That's so fun to have such a fun and unique hobby that I have never heard of before. Antiquing is a new word in the vocabulary. Very cool. And I can tell by the background and the fine shirts, this is a lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean it directly involved the program because my whole dream board was being able to travel and do the different, long car rides and things, being away from home to do all this stuff. And since the end of the program, I've gone to 5 or 6 different places.
I love it. Okay, well, let's backtrack and talk about before the program first. So tell me, both of you, what was going on with your health, Jodi, prior to the program?
I just kind of sucked it up and lived with it, but slowly over the years, I got diagnosed in '07.
Diagnosed with what?
Sjogren's and IBS-C, and then fibromyalgia, and then interstitial cystitis. And they just kept telling me it'll progress, and over time, we'll just keep adding to the list.
For people that don't know the abbreviations, tell them about what IBS-C is.
Irritable bowel syndrome with constipation.
Right. Not fun. Doesn't feel good. You're probably walking around feeling bloated and uncomfortable most of the time. And then with interstitial cystitis, people don't understand what that is, but it's very uncomfortable with the
Painful bladder.
Mhm.
Painful bladder. It feels like I've got a urinary tract infection all the time.
Not a way to live. And so
No.
when you're saying I was sucking it up and just dealing with it, most people probably couldn't. So you have been dealing with this for decades.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, when I got diagnosed, I was a homeschooling mother of 2, and he was gone at UPS all the time. So I just had to get up and do it. There was no other option. And because we homeschooled, we went to a lot of like Civil War reenactments, weekend kind of things to expose the kids to that kind of stuff. And I mean, there were times where they were like, why can't we do such and such? Why are you sick, mom?
We'd be in the middle of an activity, and Jodi would say,
Gotta
I've got to
go.
go back to the hotel or have to go back home. And we'd drop everything and go right back. And it was very difficult on the kids.
And why was that? Just because you were in pain?
Sometimes I was in pain. Sometimes,
Energy.
I had to get back to the hotel and get to the bathroom.
But you also had a diagnosis of fibromyalgia, right?
I mean, they kind of threw that in there. I don't know that the doctors weren't just saying, wow, you're in pain all the time. That's probably fibro.
So many doctors, you're right, do throw that term out there because they don't know what's going on. You have
Yeah.
all of these mystery symptoms to them, and
Yeah.
frankly, they don't know how to help you. Was that what you experienced? What kind of help were you getting from the medical world?
Lots of prescriptions.
Here, take this prescription.
Samples and
If I
prescriptions.
took everything that they wrote me, I'd be on over 35 pills. I mean, when they wrote me methotrexate, I just said, no way, no way.
That was kind of the defining moment for you of, okay, we have to find something else.
I
You felt dismissed by your doctors, it sounds like.
I mean, I don't think they were actively being outright rude. I think they don't know what they're doing.
That's the problem. And with fibromyalgia, they'll say, there's no cure for this. We don't know what to do. We're not sure what causes it. Same thing with many other autoimmune diseases like Sjogren's and interstitial cystitis. It's a hard one to say. We'll call it
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
IC for short.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of the ones too where they say there's very little help there. Good luck,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you'll probably be dealing with this for the rest of your life. And
Yeah.
so I'm wondering about your state of mind. How was that feeling to you to have your children saying, "Oh, Mom, we wish we could do more with you. Why do we have to stop? Why can't we do more?" And the medical world not giving you really any hope at all. How did it feel?
I honestly, I just stayed focused on what I do have.
Mm.
I have a very strong faith,
Mm.
and I figured if it was happening for a reason, and I was going to choose joy. I told the kids life isn't perfect, and we've all got a cross to bear, and you've got to keep moving forward and look at what we do have. If you spend all your time looking at what we don't have, you're going to lose what you have.
Pretty incredible that you were able to keep such a positive outlook even while going through all of that, truly. I want to hear about your pain level. What would you say your pain level was on an average day, 1 to 10?
It was coming on, and it was like the story of the frog in the pan. It was coming on very slow over time.
Mhm.
And, the kids got old and moved out and finished school, and didn't have to do as much. And so we just kind of adjusted slowly over time. And then I started aspirating a lot in the middle of the night from the GERD, severe GERD. And I had a hiatal hernia surgery, and I had a Nissen procedure to tighten the valve at the top of my stomach
Mm.
because I just kept aspirating in the middle of the night. And last year, about a year right now,
Yeah.
I aspirated the worst I've ever aspirated.
Which can be very dangerous.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
it caused a vagus nerve reaction. It's turning out almost everything in me is from vagus nerve.
Mm.
And the vagus nerve reaction was shutting down the veins in my arms. My arms were it felt like they were exploding. And I thought I might be having a heart attack.
She was definitely showing signs of heart problems.
So we went running to the ER, and they thought I was having a heart attack, and they rushed me past everybody else and just started running all kinds of tests and wound up saying, "Wow, we think this is your autoimmune. And if you continue to aspirate, you're going to need a lung transplant." And I said, "Well, would I even qualify? I don't have lung cancer. I know the list is long. Would I even qualify?" And they said, "Well, that's not the worst of it. If you did qualify and you did survive the surgery," I said, "then I would just aspirate and burn those lungs out." And they said, "Yeah."
Okay, so these were not solutions. You were being offered surgeries and medications, and nobody was ever really helping you get to the root of why is this
Yes.
Never.
happening? What's
Never
going
once.
on?
I think the biggest thing that was missing was hope. It was not there anymore
Ugh.
because we thought we had tried everything up to this point. This aspiration episode that happened last year, though it was terrifying, was actually a blessing.
Mm.
And the blessing is that it opened us up to the
To
program,
you,
to the
to
program.
this. Yeah.
It made it very easy to say, yeah, let's do this.
Well, let's talk about it. How did you come across the Transform program, and what did you think when you first saw it?
I was scared, truly, truly scared about this whole transplant thing and facing. I mean, the kids just left and we moved to Memphis and we got this beautiful beach house that I decorated the way I wanted. And I could finally do my tiki stuff without any worries about the kids. And now it's disappearing. Like it's going to be gone.
When you say it's going to be gone, you can go ahead and say it. You were thinking that, like,
I was going
this
to die.
It was a
I was
huge
gonna
anchor
die.
wrapped around her neck.
I was just terrified. I was laying in bed terrified. After that episode a year ago, I got tremors. I was shaking and I couldn't stop. I couldn't even type my password into the laptop and it wasn't going away for months. I was on Facebook and up came this thing saying, "Hey, there's this 5 pillars." And I was like, "Geez, it's an hour and a half long." But then I thought, what else do I have to do? So I just hit the button to take a peek, and I knew it was God. I knew it was God telling me, "You've got to do this." And I walked out into the other room where he was, and I said, "I know you're worried about money, and I don't know how much this thing is, but I need you to watch this." And he watched it and walked into the room I was in and said, "Oh, so we've got to do this. I don't care how much it is."
Yeah.
Your life depended on it, and that's what you
Yeah.
truly felt.
Well, not just life, but quality of life.
I want to hear more about that because let's just cut right to it. Where are you now? Now that you've gone through the Transform program, you say you've gotten your life back. How are you feeling?
I'm not back to where I was before. I'm better
Oh yeah.
than I was before. I
Healthier,
I
sharper.
know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, they said, "What are the top 3 things?" And I thought about it and I was like, not to be punny or ridiculous, but education, education, education. I went into the program thinking, I mean, I hadn't watched any of her YouTube videos. I didn't know. I signed up and went into the very first meeting hearing, "You've got to go gluten free right now." And I was like, "What? How do I do that?" I didn't know anything.
Mm.
And the education she gave me, I had no idea it was going to be, "I'm going to train you how to be your own doctor and you are going to take care of yourself for the rest of your life."
And that truly is what it is. You become your own health advocate for life. And you're
Yeah.
then able to also advocate for your family members as well
Yeah.
because you have
Yes.
that knowledge. You know how to
And
read your lab work. You know what lab work you need. You know how to
yes.
order your own lab work. It's life changing.
Yes.
Absolutely. She's working with
I
me now on working with my
Yeah.
hormones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna order
Yeah.
him his
Yeah.
test. And since I finished the program, going into it, I had brain fog. I was super overwhelmed. I was terrified.
It was a big risk for you. Tell me
Oh,
why you almost didn't join the program. I mean, this is something online, and you're telling me you wondered it's online. Maybe it's a scam.
I mean, honestly, I saw videos like this, but I didn't know that she didn't hire those people and pay them.
Well, there are so many scams out there.
Yeah,
So one of the first things I did is I went online right away and read some of the reviews. I actually looked.
I told him, find the dirt, dig up dirt, find out
I
if
looked
she's
all
lying.
over the place. I actually contacted some alumni
Yeah.
through Facebook and Instagram and got on with them and asked them point blank questions.
Are you real?
You're a
And
real
it was-
person.
yeah, for real. I mean, it's an
Yeah.
investment, but it's also, I don't want to blow it, but the responses were 100%. Everyone said, "You need to do this. You need to do this." There wasn't one
Yeah.
bad thing that was spoken about the investment.
That's exciting to hear that you guys took that leap because it has completely transformed your life and your husband's life as well and those around you. So let's
Absolutely.
talk about things that you can do now after graduating
Yes.
the program that
Yes.
you couldn't have dreamed of doing before.
I know some of the first ones right away,
Mhm.
very easily. When we traveled beforehand, we couldn't do car trips more than just a little bit.
3 to 4 hours and
If-
I'd have to stop.
If that, and she was just, by the time we'd go somewhere 3 or 4 hours away, we'd have to rest and recover for maybe 3, 4, 5 days
Yeah.
once we got to a hotel or our destination. Now we take drives, country drives here around the Memphis suburbs all the time. We've gone to Florida. We've gone to New Orleans. We've gone to many drives,
Chattanooga.
Atlanta, Chattanooga, which are many, many, many hours away, day drives.
She can handle
Yeah.
these trips and not be exhausted. The chronic
Yes.
fatigue has lifted. What else besides the education was your favorite part about the program?
I think from what I've seen from a third party perspective is her pod mates.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a pretty good
They're
I've got
so
a pretty
meeting.
good pod.
Now that Jim's saying that, Jim, you were a part of this. You were there every step of the way. And it sounds like making some of these life changes right alongside her.
Yes.
Right. I constantly hovered around during the pod meetings, during some of the other meetings with the other groups, the nutritionists. I've been always listening. because let's face it, it's an investment.
There was a lot on the line.
There's a lot on the line, and I want to be a part of it. I want to be part of the wins. I want to be part of the success of this. And I think that it's vital for somebody going through this program to have some form of support, whether it's a podmate, whether it's a relative or a friend, to check on them, to encourage them, because there are times when it is difficult. There are times when you hit brick walls and you need some encouragement and something else to help push you forward.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be that for her.
You guys have such a great outlook on all of this. And to have an advocate on your side, I'm sure helped.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people can get better even without such a strong advocate, but I'm
Yeah.
sure that it helped you even that much more.
I don't know if I would have been one of them.
Yeah.
I think that came across highly with Maggie. Her care, her concern for each individual's health and well-being and improvement. That came across to me from a third party watching this, that she's in it to win it with them. She's an advocate. Maggie's an advocate.
She would
fighting
fight.
for
She would
everybody.
fight for us. Yeah.
Yes.
And I kept saying, she would say, "I'm sorry if I'm coming across too harsh." And I was like, "No, you love me." Like, I knew my doctor loved and cared about me. And going into next adventure, there's people she hasn't seen for 4 years, and she looks up and says, "How's your dog?" and knows the dog's name.
Yeah, that's the thing people don't understand about her, is that she truly does. She remembers everyone. She remembers your
She's
story.
personally invested. She is a friend.
Mm.
Yes.
And that's something that you can't teach. That's a gift. That's
Yes.
a gift that she has
Yeah.
personally.
What else
Oh,
did you learn that? Because these things don't just, for 20 years, you don't have problems. And then all of a sudden, within a couple of weeks, start to get better and your pain
Yeah.
goes away. So
Yeah.
what else was it that you think made a big difference?
I really think digestion.
Huge. And no one had
I'm
anyone
on
ever
protein
talk
pump
to you.
inhibitors.
Oh,
The Nexium. They had me on 80 milligrams a day because of the aspiration. And I'm down to 40 a day and getting ready to cut it some more. And
so getting your digestion, learning about digestion.
yes,
Yes.
getting off the protein pump inhibitors, finding out that that was blocking my vitamin D absorption, my vitamin B12, my iron, everything that was contributing to the constipation, because I didn't have any stomach acid, so I wasn't absorbing anything. For me, it's all digestion and, of course, blood sugar.
Yeah, blood sugar. Let's talk about, what did you learn about your blood sugar?
Well, I mean, growing up, you hear eat right. And I thought, oh, that means fruits and vegetables. And then they'd say eat a balanced diet. And I thought that meant, with the food pyramid growing up, and I heard that that wasn't accurate. I had no idea it meant balance, protein, fat, and fiber. No idea what eating right meant. And I mean, I took a college nutrition course. I mean, the things they taught us that pica is chewing on ice. Why did they teach me that? Why weren't they teaching me what balanced food meant, what absorption was, what digestion was, what my immune system was, and where it was created, and what could block it, and what could help it, why I was so gassy and bloated.
Well, and this is why none of your doctors were able to help you for over 20 years either, because they also were not getting this education.
Yes.
It is
Correct.
just, it's just not what's taught, unfortunately. So yeah, you almost can't fault your doctors in a way, because
Right.
they just don't know.
The first 5 minutes of the first mastermind, she was starting to talk to somebody about, are you vegan or vegetarian? Do you have Crohn's or colitis? Is it the front and the back, or is it, the middle? And I, of course I was muted, and he was sitting next to me, and I looked at him and I just started shaking and crying. And he said,
remember
"What's
that.
wrong?" And I said, that's it. That's it. I got an answer the first 5 to 15 minutes of the very first mastermind. I was like, it's absorption. It's absorption because of the Nexium. It's the PPIs, and I'm not getting any nutrients. I'm a skeleton with fat and organs. I am completely malnourished, and I'm not absorbing anything because of the meds they put me on.
Wow. So you had a major breakthrough instantly. So I want to hear about the constipation. How is that?
What constipation? It disappeared the first week.
Oh, are you okay. constipation that you had been plagued with for decades, that had impacted your life so
Yes.
severely that it was impacting family outings,
Yes.
now was gone within 1 week. How did that happen?
It was digested with the adding stomach acid. It was the magnesium. It was the spinach. I drink a huge spinach smoothie every morning.
We
So
buy
new
lots,
diet, a new
lots of
She
diet.
spinach.
buys me.
That's it. All right. So then I dare I ask, who would you recommend this program to?
You know, I
Wow.
was thinking about that, and of course, everyone who's sick. But honestly, in my opinion, I think this education should be for everyone. I think high schoolers should be learning what she's teaching
Because that's when you start putting things in your body
to keep from
that
getting
are
ill.
poison.
I'm so happy for both of you. I can tell what this meant to you, and how special Dr. Maggie and this program and this whole experience has been for you,
Yeah.
because it has given you not only your health but your life, and you get
Yes.
to enjoy each other. You get to
Well,
make plans
Oh,
now.
I'm so excited about a month from now because when I go back through, I'm like, oh, I need to implement this, or I've been doing this wrong, or I need to tweak this. And I start feeling even better.
and again, the staff
Yeah.
from however whatever level they're at, all the way up
Uh-huh.
to Maggie,
From Roseanne all the way through to
staff
you.
is so supportive and so priceless as well. I know I'm using priceless and hope, but it really is.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, you guys, thank you. You have been an amazing, amazing interview. I'm so struck by the love between both Jodi and Jim. What a great support system they are for one another, and just how truly their lives have been changed by Dr. Maggie and by this program. In fact, hearing it from them, they recommend it not only for people who are dealing with chronic health issues and mystery symptoms, but for really anybody who wants to improve their health and wants to improve their life forever. These are skills that you learn in the Transform program that will take you through the rest of your life to be able to navigate your health successfully and have the longevity that it is that you wish. If you know somebody who could benefit from the Transform program, go ahead and connect with the team. There's a link above or below this video, and share this. Reach out and tag somebody that could be benefit from getting this information. Thank you so much for watching.